My next guest clearly did not want to get paid by the hour because he went out there and got a second-round finish over Chris Daukaus at UFC Fight Night on March 26th. It's Curtis Blaydes back here on the program. Curtis, how are you, man?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, but not as good as you, though, man. What a performance that was last Saturday. Was that the most satisfying win of your career, just with the fact that I knew you wanted to prove a point, not get a takedown, and you went out there and you got a knockout finish?
It was extremely satisfying. I wouldn't say it was the most, but yeah, I was very happy with my performance. It's not every fight that you get to go out there and be at your best the entirety of the fight. I never felt like he had any control over the pace or the tempo. I felt like I was directing everything, and I knew he was hyper aware of me going for the takedowns. So we used that, and it just made it easier for me to strike. It made him slow because I know he has hands. I know he has good footwork against other heavyweights, but I could tell he wasn't really wanting to open up because he was hyper aware of the takedowns.
How much do you think that threw him off in the fight that you didn't go for the takedown? You know, like, because again, I'm sure he was expecting you to wrestle. Do you think that threw him off in the fight?
Yeah, I think it did. I think it's like you're waiting the whole time. You're just like, he wasn't being like himself. He wasn't just like going into combinations. He was having to think and wait. And when you wait, you're too slow. That's why I was able, like, I landed a lot of punches, and the punch I landed to end it, I didn't expect it to be the one to put him down because I really didn't have a wind up. I was just punching. I think he almost ran into it, almost like how I did with Derek Lewis. How when you run into it, it makes it just worse.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too. It looked like he sort of ran into it a bit. And I think also was the fact that you had the reach advantage as well. Like how much did that give you sort of leeway to do that? Just because, again, you were always one punch ahead of him because of the reach.
I think that was the big thing also because I like to use my jab, and I was able to get it off pretty effectively, like whenever I wanted, because he was having a hard time like figuring out how to get past the jab. And I think that was also because of him being aware of the takedowns. Like he wasn't able to like just focus in on the boxing. He also had to be like a little slow because he had to think about every step. And I could see it in his eyes, like he was like that first round for me and for him, I think we were both just trying to pump and take reads to like download into use in the later rounds. That's how it felt to me.
And good post-fight, interview as well with DC in the cage where you're like, look, it's Ciryl Gane. That's the guy I want. It's a fresh matchup. Let's do it for the interim title. DC then proceeds to call out Stipe for you. He's like, Stipe, I got to ask, how awkward was that? Because I was watching that on TV going like, I know you'll fight anyone, but like, how was that moment for you where he's kind of like, hey, there's Stipe. Do you want to call him out?
Yeah, I was like, so I just called out Ciryl Gane. Does that like remove that one? Because I don't believe I'm going to get the Stipe fight. That's why I didn't call him out, because I don't like to make unrealistic call outs. That's like me being like, I want to fight Brock Lesnar.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Like, it would go viral, but it's not realistic. So it was on the spot, and I tried to be humble about it because we do have like somewhat of a relationship. Like I did train with him all those years ago when I was an amateur, but he's always been cool and respectful. So I just want to maintain that, and I don't think he wasn't really even reacting. I think he was just drinking and
He was, yeah.
talking
His
to
back
fans. I
was turned.
like,
He was
okay.
grabbing another beer
I
or
don't
something.
care.
So yeah, the whole thing was just odd. And I kind of felt bad for you because it's like they put you on the spot when it's like you're the guy supposed to be calling people out. But anyways, it is what it is. How did you end up celebrating that night? Again, you get the win, you get the bonus, you get everything else. Like, how did you enjoy yourself that night?
Just smoked. Just went back.
Of course,
went
yeah.
back and smoked. Yeah.
Yeah, that must have been a good sleep.
I'm not much of a drinker these days anymore. I don't like being hungover. I don't like it.
Yeah, it sucks as you get older. I can attest to that for sure. So, anyways, you get the bonus money. What are you going to be doing with it? Because that's a nice little chunk of change on top of obviously a big fight in a main event.
I'm gonna put it away. I'm hoping to get a house. I have another 8 or 9 months on this lease I have, and I'm hoping after that to get a house. So
it's great. What's been the feedback like from the fans? You know, that's one of the things I always hear about, you know, some fans being like, Curtis never finishes fights, and here you are getting a second round finish over a pretty dangerous guy in Chris Daukaus. What was the feedback like after the fight?
It's been a lot more positive because there isn't anything you can really like talk smack
what are they going to say? You didn't even get hit or anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't. There's no ammo. So yeah, it's been a lot more respectful. At least I can say that I haven't had any assholes. So yeah, I like that. That's nice. It's not the norm, but I like it.
What a world of difference. You get a finish, everyone's on your side type thing. And just, you know, kind of on that note as well, I love the tweet after the fact, you know, because this is something you and I talk about a lot. People saying you got CTE and you come out and you're like, look, it's the stutter. I mean, I show people the interview you and I did we did an interview when you were in RFA. It was the same thing. Like, it's no different. It's something you've had your entire life. And I was actually kind of curious about that. Like, since you put the tweet out, have you had people reach out to you and being like, hey man, thanks for being open about that? Because I'm sure there's other people out there struggling with it.
I have, and I forget it's not just me because I've only met like 4 people that had a speech impediment, and there was one that was a girl. So it's super like rare that it happens to females. I remember in school I did like a paper on it. It only affects like less than 1% of all like Americans, and then it's like 80% of that is boys. So like if you're a girl out there that has a speech impediment, that's just rare.
Yeah.
And I was getting a lot of those messages, and it was a good reminder that it's not just me. When I'm speaking, I'm not just speaking for me. I'm speaking for a lot of other people that have this same issue, and they don't have the opportunity to speak publicly and just like tell people to deal with it. I don't think it's an issue, but there's a lot of a-holes on the internet, and they look for anything. I
mean, I think I talked to you about this before. I think it's a lot of people who want to fight, they can't fight, so this is their way of like kind of getting back at you because it's like they're dealing with their jealousy.
I don't understand. Like, why do you want to be so
negative and stuff? Yeah,
towards someone you don't even know.
I think they think it's going to make them feel better. I don't know. It's weird. You know, it's like the guy who gave you the call after the Lewis loss. It's like what would go through your head to think that's a good idea? You know, so it's crazy, man. So. Anyways, don't want to give those people any more attention. We mentioned Ciryl Gane. Is that sort of at the top of the list in terms of opponents? Like, if you could rank your next opponent, would he be at the top?
It would be him, Huivasa, because he just got that big win. He's got a lot of hype. Him, Huivasa, and I guess Aspinall. But I think they're going to keep Aspinall away from me just for now because they want to save that matchup. I fully believe that we will end up having a fight because he's really good, and the top 5 guys we're all around this same age, so we're gonna get down.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time. I mean, you pretty much fought this is something we always talk about. You fought almost all the heavyweights in the weight class anyway. So I think those are 3 of the names that you haven't. So one of those I'm sure is gonna happen. It's gonna pan out. Yeah.
I hope it'll be Ciryl first. That's what I'm hoping.
And we've talked about it before, but if you were to fight Ciryl from a style perspective, how do you look at that, especially with what Francis was able to do in his fight, taking Ciryl Gane to the ground?
Well, I know everyone's going to think, oh, he's going to just go in there and shoot. I'm not. I'm going to be strategic. I'm going to be organic about it. Like, just like how it was with this weekend, I'm gonna strike. I notice when I strike, just to get the takedown, the strikes are different. But when I strike just to flow, I connect more, and that'll open up the takedown. Like, I will use my wrestling at some point, but I'm not going to rush it, because when you rush it, you end up with the results I got with Derek Lewis. So I was a lesson, and it sucks to get knocked out, but I learned a lot from that loss, and I think as long as you're learning from the loss, it's not a true loss.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. Well said. And just sort of last question on kind of, next fight and all that. International Fight Week, is that kind of what you're looking at, or you want sort of later in the summer? Do you have kind of like an ideal time for your next fight?
I like to be around August. I'd like to actually attend International Fight Week and like do the eat and greets and just be a part of it, because I had to fight the last one. I wasn't able to go. So I like to go to this one as a fan,
Good. Let me know if you go. We got to get a game of Mortal Kombat in for sure if that happens. Yeah, I'm supposed to be going. I'm going to bring the old school one. I got the Sega Genesis one. I got like a retro thing, so we could try that out and see how it goes. That would be kind of fun. So
we'll see how it goes.
Putting that out there into the world. We'll see sort of what happens there. It's all good. So after your fight, Will Smith smacking Chris Rock, fair or foul?
It was foul. I mean, even if it was an inappropriate joke, you handle that backstage, you text them, or even if you do, you go up on the stage, you lean in, you say, "Hey man, I wasn't right. Don't keep my wife's name out your mouth." And that could have been that, and that would have been, ooh, look what Will Smith did, but it wouldn't be this. This is he's never getting invited back to the Oscars. Like, it's a good thing he got to win one this year, because I don't think he's ever gonna be back. He's never coming back.
And kind of on that same note, what did you make of Jorge Masvidal sucker punching Colby Covington? I know you don't like Colby, so I was curious your thoughts on this.
That's wrong, bro. You had 25 minutes to get out all that anger. You didn't do it. He was the better man tonight. It is what it is. Like, you just got to eat that.
We talked about, obviously, Francis a little bit, too. I know he obviously wants to box. We're hearing Kamaru Usman wants to box Canelo Alvarez. What do you make of these guys calling out boxers? Because it looks like it's pretty tough to do just with the contracts with the UFC. Do you think it's even worth it? Or do you think it's, what do you think of that?
It. Boxing is what a bag is, what money is. Like, it's worth it. Like, you might get it. Like, Ngannou, he can make 80 million. Like, I don't know, but he can make a lot of money if he's able to get one boxing fight. Oh my God. And the same for Usman. I don't know if he would get as much as Ngannou, but he would still get like millions. So yeah, it's worth it. Yeah. Now, like, the likelihood of it happening, I think for Ngannou, the likelihood is like an 8 out of 10. I think he's really gonna do it. Usman, I don't know. I think he still wants to. He still believes he has a future with the UFC. I think Ngannou is already like starting to move apart. So I don't know if they'll allow Usman to do it. I don't know.
Okay. And would you ever want to take a boxing fight, or are you good just staying in MMA?
No, I would do boxing. Mm-hmm. I want money. Like, I'll box. Like I said, I believe in my hands, and like, I'll do 8 rounds against whoever. It don't matter to me. Like, if you're gonna give me like a million and a half, yeah, I'll box anybody.
How's it going back home? I saw you went for a couple days after the fight. Got some good food. Like, I know there's like a couple go-to places you go to when you're back in Illinois. Where did you end up going?
I went to Harold's. I went to Portillo's. I got burger. I went to a few spots for pizza. I went to Illuminati's, Conti's, I wanted to go to Beggars. I didn't get an opportunity to go to Beggars.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I went. That was the majority of my time was spent eating. I would eat up with my buddies at a restaurant, and that's what we do. We eat, and just hang out.
Yeah, it's just the thing to do. That's great. And what's sort of the plan after this? I know you're waiting to see what happens next fight wise. We're thinking August probably, or like you said, being a guest in International Fight Week. What do you got planned? I know you'll be back in the gym, but you got anything cool planned since you've been back?
I'm going to Honolulu to watch the Bellator fights down there.
Oh, cool.
I want to watch my buddy Rafion Stotts.
Oh, you're going. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I'll be down there for like 5 days. And what else?
Have you ever been to Hawaii before?
No, always wanted to go. So this is a great excuse to go.
Do you have a Hawaiian shirt, or do you need to get one?
No, that's what I'm doing today. I'm going to the mall.
There you go. You got to make sure they get an extra large for you, which would be good. How do you know Rafion? Because I know Rafion was training a bit with Corey Sandhagen. Is that how you know him, or did you know him even outside of that?
No, I know him through Austin, because Austin, before he was out here, he was in Illinois, but sometimes they would go up to Rufus Sport.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, interesting. Small world. Because I know Corey was even, like, I know they're working together again for his fight, which is now Archuleta, right? It was supposed to be Sergio Pettis, which is interesting. So that's cool.
Well, no, did you hear what happened to Pettis? I heard he blew out his knee, ACL.
Oh, damn. No, I didn't hear that. I heard it was an injury, but, kind of a relief, I'm sure, for Rafion as well, because it's his buddy, right? I mean, it's not for the title, but, at least he's not having to fight his teammate.
Like, that's going to be hard. That's going to be hard to scrap the homie.
Yeah. No, for sure. Curtis, thanks so much for doing this. We do so many interviews. I always appreciate you taking the time, man. If there's anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media, I'll give you the last word.
No sponsors, but always want to give a shout out to Elevation, everyone there, my coaches, my sparring team. Oh, be on the lookout for the Ultimate Fighter this next season of heavyweights. I have a teammate who is on the show. I'm so excited to watch this season, because I haven't really been interested in the other ones. I'm so excited. So be on the lookout for that. And if you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, I'm RazorBlades265 on both platforms.